humans, this is an adoption campaign, but it's not for me or Mr. Buttons or Frank over there. It's for you, humans. This is a call to humans to adopt our movement, to adopt our cause.
This isn't just about saving one of us.
It's about saving all of us.
Thousands of lives, every single day.
It's about support for every one of us four, and sometimes not four-legged best friends, waiting to meet a best friend of our own. With Best Friends Animal Society leading the charge.
Shelter by shelter, city by city.
We can save thousands of pets each day. Join us. Together we can save them all.
Thank you for joining us for Pet Connect. I'm Tara Douglas. We're going to talk fosters today, but before we get to that, I've got some announcements. We had an adoption event at Walmart that was scheduled for April 11th. That has been postponed, so watch the shelter's Facebook page to see when we get that rescheduled. But we are having our adoption event at PetSense on April 12th, so that's Saturday, a week from this Saturday. Make sure to come out. You can meet some cats, you can meet some available puppies and dogs from the shelter. And I don't have the times right at the moment, but we will announce that next week. And you can also follow the Feral Dogs of Avondale Mills Facebook page to catch that. We are also searching for people who want to come out to the shelter and run the dogs. They have measured from the stop sign to the end of the road is a half a mile. And so the shelter staff are looking for people who want to come out and get some exercise and exercise the dogs and maybe take them for a little mile jaunt. And they also have quite a few dogs that are undergoing heartworm treatment right now that just need to be petted. They don't need to get their heart rate up while they're under treatment. So for slow walks or just to be petted, they'd love to have people come by and visit them because they're not able to get out on Saturdays when we do our dog walking from 11 to 1 each Saturday. And we would love to have you out there. And this weekend, if you're able to come, you can meet our pet of the week. We have Boomer. He is about 5 months old, and Boomer is going to be a big dog. He's going to live up to that name. But he is a very sweet pup, and we are just really looking to find him a home to let him get out of that shelter. So if you want to come this weekend to meet him, and we'll also try to have him at PetSense at the adoption event on the 12th. But if you know anybody that's looking for a dog and you know that it's somebody that wants a big one, then we've got one for you there at the shelter. So please come out to meet him. And I guess he would also have that opportunity to be fostered. That's what we wanted to talk about today. And I've brought my husband Jonathan on for us to talk about fostering dogs. We fostered cats too, but over the last year and a half, we've had quite a few come through our house.
70.
We're at 70 now?
70.
So we need more fosters. The world needs help. So we've got different fostering setups. So you can foster through the shelter directly, or you can foster through Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill. And we've done a little bit of both. So with the shelter, you can you can do a foster to adopt situation. So you're able to go in if you have a dog at home already, or if you have cats or kids and you want to see how a dog does in your household. You can come in, and if you find a dog that you love and want to try with your family, then you can take the dog home for a foster to adopt situation just to make sure it works out before you commit to adopting. But then there are also cases where Jonathan and I have experienced that we have dogs that come to the shelter that are sometimes injured. And it's better if they can get to a foster situation, because even though we have a wonderful shelter and shelter staff, that is a very stressful place for dogs to live. So we have been able to help with that. So how many have we done? A few with that one?
Gosh, I don't even know. We've had a broken leg, and we've had an amputation, and we've had mange, and we've had rickets, and I don't know what else. But I mean, the sick dogs, they really need something. Even if you're not really a trained medical person, if you can just have them in a home and they get love and attention, it's just all kinds of things, because the shelter staff does an amazing job, but they don't have time to sit with the dog. They have to be on the move. So yeah, we've grabbed a bunch. I don't even know. We'd have to go back and look. It's been so many now.
But there is that opportunity. So and the shelter, if you're fostering through them or if you're fostering through Feral Dogs, you get all of the supplies provided. So as long as you have the time and you have the space and you have the willingness to take care of a healthy or sick animal, then those kinds of fosters are needed, and everything is provided. So, we've got all kinds of setups there, but the shelter's definitely hoping to get a database set up for fosters. And as I said, Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill needs fosters too. And we've got, at the end of this month, according to the shelter manager, Stephanie just texted me this morning, from the end of this month through May, she said historically they'll get record numbers of puppies and pregnant mama dogs coming into the shelter. So we've got to move those out of the shelter.
Yeah, and I think the benefit for people who love dogs is that you get constant puppies. So Tara will come out and laugh at me. I'm sitting in the garage with the puppies, but I just like sitting with puppies, and I like playing with them. And I mean, they make a mess, and they bark, and I mean, it's all the things. But I mean, when you get there in the morning, you open the door, and these little faces come at you, and you know they wouldn't have made it, and they're going to make it now. And so there's work involved, but there's also a lot of sitting there with 6 puppies just crawling all over you and just loving you. And so there's benefit both ways. And if you love puppies, then you constantly have a flow. And people say, oh my gosh, how do you get rid of a puppy? Believe me, you'll be fine after a little while. After 70, I can tell you that you don't want to keep them all. You're very happy when you drop them off and you know they're going somewhere else. And
you do get to have the fun part of having a puppy and playing with a puppy, but not having to know that you've got to train the puppy, because the puppy's not going to live with you. So you can pass it on to its future home pretty easily and not have to worry about the training portion.
Yes, that's correct.
But it is a lot of work, and with puppies in particular, you have to be so careful because they are very susceptible to getting parvo and getting sick in many ways. So you can't let them interact with your existing dogs, and you have to have a spot where you can quarantine them. And you can go out and pet them and love them, but you're not going to be taking them out to meet everybody on earth with you. And you got to be super careful and wash your hands and make sure that you're not just inadvertently dragging something in, some kind of disease into those puppies.
Yeah, we created a whole setup in our garage where one bay of the garage is all just a puppy kennel, puppy medical, puppy everything. And most people probably can't do something like that, but even if you have just some kind of small space where you can have a little fold-up kind of a cage for puppies, that works fine. It is a lot of work, and you got to remember you got to get shots too, and so there's a whole process of figuring out. But I mean, all that's provided. You just have a little bit of work that has to go into it. But at the end, you've got 4, 5, 6 puppies that were going to die and now are going to make it.
And there's a lot that has to go into the process of fostering. So the shelter's working on establishing a lot of relationships with rescues in the area, or just in the U.S. in general, especially on the East Coast. And the Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill, we have some partnerships with rescues set up already. But the process, so if the shelter has dogs that are puppies that are brought there, they hope to find a place for them, because like we said, it's a very stressful place for puppies to try to survive in a shelter. And so they typically like for them to go to a foster before going to rescue. And so that's an avenue. And then sometimes we at the Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill can pull a litter of puppies from the shelter and put them in the foster system and work with our rescues. So there are quite a few rescues. I mean, the puppies might go to New York or New Jersey or Virginia or Florida. And so there, we've got some really active rescues in areas where they don't have the puppy and the stray and the overpopulation problem that we have here. So they're able to take these puppies and find them homes pretty quickly. And so we're able to give them that opportunity.
Yeah, and it makes sense for the rescues to take them from homes, because the shelter, there's just no way with as many dogs coming in and out that they can completely sterilize and make sure those animals are kept away from other sick ones. And so if you grab them, I mean, for example, Tara and I she was going to walk dogs, and I was going to do some maintenance at the shelter, and we drove up, and there's a van with his back open, and somebody walks up and said, hey, somebody's got 6 puppies that need to go in, and the shelter doesn't have room. And so we just packed up our stuff and put them in the truck and brought them home. But I mean, that's an everyday thing at the shelter, that they have that many puppies coming in. And so if we had fosters, it would be amazing. Yeah. We could save all of these puppies if we just they really wouldn't even have to go into the shelter, because some puppies go in and they come at 6 weeks and they never leave. They're there for a year or 2 years, and you just don't realize that, but they actually grow up in the system. We have one of those right now. So yeah, we need more people to foster, and if you just love puppies and you're willing to put a little bit of time into it, then at least give it a shot, I would say, and try one litter. And then if it's overwhelming, you can't handle it, then I understand that, because it can be. But gosh, sometimes you just get one or two, and if you just have one or two, then it's just so easy.
And it's actually easier to have a couple than just one.
It is.
Because one, again, you have to isolate them from everyone, and so they can't be around your existing pets, and so it's nice for them to have a buddy with them. So really, two is easier than one.
Two is ideal.
But think about if you're interested in fostering, and you can contact us at the Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill. You can contact the shelter, but also on the flip side of that, if you're someone who has found some puppies like Jonathan just talked about when we came that day, we just happened to be there and we happened to have an empty kennel at our house and was able to help with those dogs. But keep in mind that, of course, the answer is spaying and neutering. So if you have a dog at home and you don't want puppies, please look at that. We have our voucher sale. We're doing it every quarter right now because the county commissioners have given us money, because the city of Sylacauga has given us money. So we're able to reduce that price through the Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill, where you can get $30 vouchers. But even the regular price for these discount vouchers at Alabama Spay and Neuter is really low. It's manageable, and if you need help, there's help out there. But we need to get more dogs fixed in this area, because the shelter can't handle that many puppies coming in. People get angry. I see posts on Facebook. They're upset because the shelter won't take these dogs from them. But the shelter, they only have so much space. They only have so many fosters. So there's really nowhere those puppies can go sometimes. And so it's one of those things that if you are, please get your dogs fixed so that we don't have so many puppies needing to come to the shelter. And also please keep in mind that if you contact the Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill and we can't take the puppies, maybe it's because we don't have a foster available, but we also don't have a facility. So we don't have a place to put puppies unless we have a foster. And if there are only certain puppies that we know our rescues will take. So, even though every puppy is loved and every puppy is fun, like Jonathan said, not every puppy, sadly, is easily adopted out at these rescues in other states. So please don't get angry with the people who are trying to help, because there are times that we just can't help, that the answer is spaying and neutering. And
it's like everything else. There are people that say that somebody should do something, and then maybe sometimes you look in the mirror and you say, maybe today I'm somebody, because you got a whole group of people. When we go do these events and we have around the fosters, it's always the same people. It's this small group of people, and we really need to expand. There are more people in this city and in this county that could really do it. Mm-hmm. And so maybe somebody can step up and be somebody, the one that solves it, because all of the rants you see when they say, oh, they wouldn't take my puppies, somebody needs to do something about this. I mean, somebody is doing something about it, but we need more somebodies. We need more somebodies. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we really do.
But you certainly contact us if you are interested in fostering. Like Jonathan said, there's a lot of fun to it, and there's nothing more rewarding than to see the dogs that you fostered going into a happy home. So, there are frustrations with the lack of spaying and neutering and too many puppies out there, but at the same time, it is a fun and rewarding thing to do. And if you would like to do it, we would love to have the help. And maybe we can get more fosters out there and help more of these puppies and establish more relationships with other rescues.
It'd be great. Area. That's really the only solution.
Yeah. So if you're interested, like I said, you can contact the shelter directly. You can call them, and they are usually too busy to answer the phone, but they'll call you back. Or you can and come out and walk dogs. You can meet some dogs, meet some puppies, and see if that's something you might be interested in doing. And like I said, you can also take adult dogs from the shelter. There's sometimes that they have lovely, sweet, adoptable dogs that are just not doing well in a shelter setting. And you can take them home with you and see if you can get to know their personalities, take pictures, do videos, and it's so much easier to adopt them out. And you can come meet Boomer for sure. Ashley and Jessica Cunningham are two of our volunteers that do these wonderful pictures of the shelter dogs, and they foster a lot too, but they have done a great job here with Boomer. He's quite photogenic, so
yes,
if you want a sweet-looking giant dog in the future, then Boomer is going to be your guy. But also, don't forget to check the shelter's Facebook page. They just put out their Amazon wish list, so there are definitely needs for wet dog and puppy food, and they need a rolling cart, and they need some some sunscreens so that we can get the dogs out once it gets really warm, and it's getting warm this week. So if you're wanting to donate to the shelter, go there. And then also, don't forget, they have some heartworm positive dogs there. They are getting those dogs treated, and you can donate to that, but you need to donate directly to the facility that's doing the heartworm treatment. It's All Creatures Pet Hospital. So you can find that link to donate to them from the Sylacauga Animal Shelter's Facebook page. So there's so many ways to help, and we appreciate everybody in the community that's helping right now. We have a wonderful group of walkers. We have so many people that are helping, and if you want to foster, we'd love to see you join the fostering team there. But we'll have more Daybreak after these messages, and thank you, Jonathan, for coming on, and thank you for letting us talk about fosters for a few minutes.
Dear humans, this is an adoption campaign, but it's not for me, or Mr. Buttons, or Frank over there. It's for you, humans. This is a call to humans to adopt our movement, to adopt our cause.
This isn't just about saving one of us.
It's about saving all of us.
Thousands of lives, every single day.
It's about support for every one of us four, and sometimes not four-legged best friends, waiting to meet a best friend of our own. With Best Friends Animal Society leading the charge.
Shelter by shelter, city by city.
We can save thousands of pets each day. Join us. Together we can save them all.